Hello, 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 friends. We're about to get started. Take a seat, put your butts in some chairs, and get in the holiday spirit, because we're about to get all kinds of family in here. My name is Franklin Cruz, and I'm going to be your host for tonight. Let this night make you feel like you're eating kind of bagels or donuts, or if you're Mexican as all hell, capirotada, because that's what I was eating before I got over here, right? So I hope you guys had a good winter time if you do not celebrate the holidays. Chill time. I hope you were taking care of yourself. You guys got to really enjoy all the sleep. Hopefully you got some days off of work, even if you don't celebrate the holidays. And if you didn't, I hope you pass out tonight real strong. Real strong. With that being said, if I call, or I'm going to try to do my best to give you who's on deck. And then you get up here, you got about like 5-7-ish minutes, since it's a like light night. You could do 1 to 2 pieces. You know, if you have an entire excerpt from your book, I'm gonna say let's not take up 30 minutes on the stage, just because we want to be fair and make sure that everybody gets a chance to get up on stage. We are a open mic, so by all means share what you gotta say with the community, but you're also accountable to what you say to the community, right? So that's my only thing. Hence, let's not like hate speech it up tonight. Let's not be any kind of the phobias or the isms, all of them, right? Just all of the isms. With that being said, we are Sacred Voices. If this is your first time, you guys can go ahead and drop stuff at Venmo. We also have a Patreon now, so if you like to support us on a more monthly basis, then go ahead and check out our Patreon. It's literally Patreon Sacred Voices. There's a $5 option if you know you live that life, because some of us do. There's a $10 option. There's a $20 option. Each one of these will get you into the open mic every single month, but the other higher prices will also allow you to get friends in, right? So your friends don't even got to worry about paying if you got to like that. So please support. All that money goes to supporting this venue right here and making sure that you have a space to come share your voices. If you have never been to an open mic, this is what I need you to do. Take out these 2 things and snap them, right? Snap them. This is the poetry way of saying, hey, I like what you said right there, because the idea is this is a conversation. So if I come up here, I say something, it's super emotional, very, very profound, very, very creative, very, very genius, right? Let the people know, because otherwise, if you sit there trying to be quote unquote polite, this is all anyone's gonna see. And then that does not make sense when someone at the end comes and they're like, oh my God, your piece is so beautiful. It really changed my life. Because this does not communicate that. Cool? This communicates that. Yes, poet, spit. Whew. Right? I've literally seen people get up and leave rooms because poems are so good. They're just like, gone. Right? Let this be like that. For the more expressive you are, then the more the person up here understands that this is actually a conversation. Because we all know what it's like to have a conversation with someone who does not give 2 damns about what you have to say, right? We have all seen that face. And guess what? I have this thing called the Netflix effect, where in 2019, people don't believe we can see each other anymore because they're so used to just watching people on Netflix and not expecting the other people to watch you back. Guess what? I've done all your faces this entire time I've been watching you. I can tell who's reacting. I can tell who's smiling. I can tell who's nodding, right? So can all of our other performers. So please keep that in mind, that this is like a living experience. So do not leave our performers up here hanging. Even if you just got a good head nod, like, yes, that was a good idea, right? Give them that. If you do like lose your face and las babas are going everywhere, by all means, man, let them know. Bless the stage with their mocos and the babas. With that being said, if I do get your name wrong, I'm sorry. It's probably the way it's written on here. I'm gonna try my best educator eyes to read your handwriting. I like to believe that because I can read 4th grade handwriting, I can read any handwriting, but we're about to test that out. With that being said, on deck, we got Bree. I'm just going in this order right there, but can I kick us off with the poem? Yeah, cool. All right, this is because I'm not going to ask you to do something that I'm not willing to do. Hence, if I'm telling you to come up here and spit and like get all open with yourself, I can't just walk over into the corner and be like, yeah, you do that. Right? Cool. As always, I'm a freestyle a poem because I didn't get anything prepared. Bree, give me a word.
Peanuts.
Cool. Amiga, give me another word. Paisaje. Ooh, we're about to get bilingual in this fool. Cool. I'm gonna change peanuts a little bit to almonds. Cool, because I got an idea, so I gotta make it work. Trying to think of what forest that is now, because I want to be accurate about this situation. I'm gonna change peanuts to palms. I gotta make it work. Cool. My head is a forest. All of the branches extending out are just creative ideas that have come from the root of my body. Some incepted seed that said, mira, mijo. You come from a people whose paisaje is painted with all the blood of the ancestors. Most people like to think of it as some kind of travesty, algo que hacen solo los salvajes. But in this culture, we understand that this blood here is a palette. And I can show you eons and eons and eons of all of my history painted out with bright blues, with beautiful purples, with the majesty of all the colors you could see in a Mexico sunset. My parents understand this, so when they tell me respect the land, it is hard for me to hear news of Borneo on fire because of palm oil plantations. The same things we want to put in our hair to keep us soft, to keep us malleable, to keep us pretty for everybody else. Do you know how pretty a burning forest is? It is about as pretty as a burning people. It's about as pretty as a burning continent. It's about as pretty as a burning culture. Sometimes, y'all, it is not worth being the most aesthetic thing in the US if that means other countries have to look like a bloody massacre. Sometimes, if it's not people, people don't care. But guess what? Trees have always been people to my people. Animals have always been people to my people. Land has always been people to my people. So who are you really trying to be pretty for if not for the mother, if not for the sky, if not for the sun, the sky, and the mother have no eyes. So how soft is your hair and how relevant is that now? How relevant is that updo? How relevant is that eyeshadow? Sometimes we are so worried, you are so worried, I am so worried with aesthetics when we should be worried more with ethics. We should be worried more with morals. Sometimes you do gotta pull that money back even though that conditioner is $5 less expensive than that one. That one right there makes sure everyone along the chain of its supply gets an equal amount of money. That one right there makes sure that the palm oil plantation that you got that product from is actually sustainable, that nowhere else do they cut forests, that they actually stay on that plot of land. They don't look anywhere else. They don't displace a single person. They don't displace a single animal. They don't even displace a single drop from the river. Do you know how pretty that is? Do you know how attractive that is? Do you know how wonderful and stunning that is to the sun, to the wind, to the moon, to my people, to my people, to my people? All right, friends. You don't gotta do that, right? I'm not asking you to make up poems. This is something I've been doing for a minute, so I feel pretty comfortable coming up here. The only thing I need you to do, did y'all see how free I got in that moment? Yeah, thank you for nodding at least, right? We don't always gotta be verbal. Some people, that's the other one too. If you wanna be nonverbal, y'all, this says a lot, right? That says a lot. You don't got to say a single word, but that says a lot. That's the only thing I ask from you. Get free up here, right? I didn't know what I was about to say. I just let freedom come out of my mouth, and that's what I said. Hopefully, I'm going to go back to this Facebook video. Also, we are live for the Facebook peoples. Hi, peoples on the Facebooks. Yes. They can only see me. They can't see y'all, right? But I'm about to go snatch that video bit off of that Facebook because I like that poem a lot. All right, friends, on deck, I also have Roland, but coming up next, can I get queer as fuck, Bree Hill?
That's my father, Jesus. Ooh, how do I do this again? Franklin's tall. Ooh, I'm a mechanic, just kidding. Hi! I love you all too. Wow, look at all this love. Cool. So hi, my name is Bree. My pronouns are they, them, theirs exclusively. If you misgender me, we'll have a chat about it, and it'll be nice and tender. Cool. So I have two poems. I'm gonna do a poll. Do you want like a poem about blackness, or do you want a poem about love? Which one do you want first? I'm gonna do both. Do the love one first. I hear blackness, so I'll do that one first. Cute. So this one is from my chapbook that is not published yet, but it will be. Please don't tell my mentors. I'm not supposed to be performing this yet, but it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be fun. Cool. So this is called Black Boy. I wrote it for Tamir Rice. Black boy, I lost a part of me. A slice of imagination and child's play I could never have back. Black boy, you train yourself on how to be bulletproof, and your black mothers still blame themselves for things they did not do. Black boy, they blame their uteruses for producing fragile blessings that leave a blood trail back to them. I stopped believing that boys will be boys because they treated you like a target practice sheet. Tell me, how can a boat still float if there are holes in it? But still, black bodies float too, on the ocean shores of ancestral prayers, carrying the hopes of a slave's dream. Black boy, I vowed I would never birth you into this world, knowing they will take you from me again and again and again until they've successfully taken all that's what's left of me. No matter how many names I give you to hide in, black boy, they will find you. Black boy, hollow out my body like you would a cacao fruit. Pluck the seeds of my labor and keep running. Black boy, don't look back. Black boy, don't let the cops get you. Black boy, come home before the streetlights come on. Black boy, one day you will become an ancestor without your consent. Take a halo as a crown and become God. Reopen up heaven for the ones waiting at the gates. Who would have thought a little black boy would have so much power? Black boy, I never stopped speaking your name. Your name is there when I laugh, a deep belly laugh, when I pass by the toy aisle in the store, wondering which one you would pick up, which colorful plastic would make your skin glow gold with creativity. Black boy, you are an angel. Black boy, you are God. Black boy, you are somewhere alive and living, playing with toy guns in a park, bulletproof and safe. Hi! Oh my God, I see you. Sorry, friends, love it. Cool. Cool, I'm gonna do another one about love. This is actually my first love poem that I've ever written. It's great. It's about my crush and I wanna cry. I have no title for this, so here we go. The beginning of creations, bodies, black bodies, our bodies begin to relearn how to greet one another. The sounds of lips and hands, the joining of bodies. Somewhere in this room, the lights are on. The temperature feels fine. We've listened to the same loading scream of a movie for 20 minutes, and both of us are somewhere safe. I know it. Pain, pleasure, and patience are welcomed here. We hold each other's eyes, an interminable beat between each breath, and I realize she has the same color as mine. And I'm wondering if this is what it feels like to fall in love with yourself. I feel the Atlantic when I kiss her. I am reminded of the power that warm soil has when I touch her skin deliberately with feelings. I'm convinced she rearranges ocean tides with her hips, and though I don't know how to swim, I still want to drive the boat. When I hold her, it feels like I've inherited the earth. Only something so precious, indestructible, worthy, and fragile can be her. I want to wait for her. Listening for my name and her laughter. Her tongue is holy scripture and our mouths become the altar. I've never liked going to church before, but she makes me reconsider. She says my name like a sin and I praise hers like a testimony. This is only the beginning of creating, loving, melting, breaking into something made between collisions of roles, the appearance of stretch marks in the existence of care and pleasure. The culmination of invitations I've been sending since day one. A prayer finally answered, a wish finally made true, a beginning to our love's first creation. Ashe.
All right, quick reflections. On deck, I got Tim. But there was a line you had just said in the first one too that I really freaking enjoyed. It was, oh my God, it's so hard to remember poems when you hear them for the first time only. Oh, it was like, oh, happy, or your name was in my life. That's what it was. Your name was in my life. So two things. For one, definitely always ask about people's pronouns. It's 2019. I think we all understand that we're returning to the time indigenous people, right? Countless indigenous cultures understood that there was more than two genders. And then because of colonization, they're like, nah, we can only see two genders. But literally, like, Samoan people have at least 5, Mexican people have at least 4. I'm not necessarily sure about a lot of the African cultures and things like that, but I'm pretty sure there's more than 2 there too, right? Like literally every single culture before colonization knew that that was true. They all had different names for everyone, right? So please always ask pronouns because some people are reconnecting with that old history and bringing it back, right? But yes, also, I think a lot of the times, especially in this like social era where we always want to be like running towards the like revolution and all of that, but we don't necessarily know how it can show up for a lot of people. Like you don't necessarily have to go to the protest. You don't necessarily always have to share like a hashtag or something. Like sometimes literally just living it out for your people is enough to be able to say, you know what, like as a black person, if you're able to smile for like people who are black and dead, then yes, that in itself will honor those people. As a brown person, when I smile and live my life happily, I am honoring the brown people who died like behind me, right? So in the way, if you are honoring your people by living your life so joyously that it comes into balance the death from like that happens in your cultures, that is something that we can do too, right? It's not always having to like show out. Sometimes it is just ceremony, and sometimes ceremony is I just laughed today and I thought about you, and that's my ceremony for you, right? So always connect that. Again, this is Sacred Voices. Doesn't matter what culture you come from, every single culture's got an indigenous side, right? So by all means, return to those indigenous practices where ceremony could happen at any point for any little thing. Cool? All right then, friends. On deck, I got Mateo coming up right now. Make some noise for Tim. There he is. Keep the applause going for Tim. I want y'all to give him positivity till he hits this stage. Yes, Tim, this is all for you. You feel it, man? They're supporting you. They love you. They're excited for you.
Hey, what's up? This microphone is kind of high, ain't it? Yeah, I got a show. You know, you know, my girl Breed. That's all good. I love that. Love that. Give another hand. Give another hand. Give another hand. Give another hand. Yeah, yeah. And I'm not so mechanically inclined. You see me twisting everything up, right? Cool. Yeah. Yeah, so what's up? How y'all feeling? What's going on? How y'all doing the New Year? What's going on? Huh? Where's my present? What? You're a present? So you really? Okay, so when we the president left. The president just left. Yeah. Hey, I want to actually, connect with lots of Colorado artists and everything. You know, if y'all get down with that, support our artists in Colorado, in this state of Colorado. Okay? All right? You know? So after I get done with these little pieces and everything, feel free to approach me. And, hey, let's get some info going. That's how, hey, network. You network. You got me? I'm going to do a piece. I'm going to do it. Can I do, how many pieces can we do?
We got about like 3 minutes-ish.
3 minutes? 7 minutes? Ish? I hear ish?
Like 3-4 minutes.
Heard of ish? Okay, cool. I had to, from Breed's pieces, I had to reiterate some things because I was going to do some pieces that was, kind of do some things. But I have a site. Yeah, just feel free to network, okay? And network everybody in here. That's how we build. Okay? That's how we build. So I'm gonna do. I'll do some minuscule pieces and everything. I have a show. Also have a show this Sunday at the Gypsy House. I believe it's like 1545. Something. Just Google that. Google that. All right. I just came from work, so I just heard about this event like 2 days ago. So I was like, well, let me go and mess around since I'm not, since I'm not so young but single. Friday nights. But yeah, let me. Yeah. Okay, let me pull up a piece real quick for y'all. Let's see. Let's try to do something that's according to the crowd. You know, it doesn't matter how many people we have here. It doesn't matter if it's 3,000 or 3 people. We can get down with that. You know. Let's see. How about let's do this piece right here, right here. Let's see. This is a piece I call Black Love. The LUV is an acronym for Love Your Victory. Let's do it, y'all. Ready? Hey, Black Love. Tats on thugs will be your mama's face. Displays the praise and drama at your court case. The curvy birdies swerve me and all the other cats trying to mac her. Loyalty got your back, impact like 4 flats. Or your grandma who taught you man's law 'cause your parents was transparent to make you stand tall. Or your gangster uncle, rumbling jungle's guardian angel of your drama. Peeps you in the streets, you get beat like I won't tell your mama. Peeps, you in the street, you get beat like I won't tell your mama. The auntie that trained me on how to choose a mate. She says if a woman is always pulling, it's easy to lose my faith. Your cousins, your best friends, your first best friends. Overnight fights, wake up, do it again. Those hood hustlers adjusting your third eye when the herbs pass by, so you know the habits of the badgers, tragics, why birds fly. The pastor that got jokes, he know the smoke is thick. He was about it, now he shouted, faith is slick. Those kids looking up, hooking up your example, hands out, understand how a black man's the handle. At the barber shop, hood farmers crop seeds planted, got up on game, rep my name in factual semantics. Wild stories of old glory from our black elders, living diaries enticing me to research the failures. That one black teacher who wore the dashiki sent homework home with my friends when he ain't seen me. There's unity in the community, back to the source. People you didn't know, show love on your porch. This history ain't mystery, it's black love, unity, victory. Black love. That's old school, yo. That's old school. That's old school. Can I do one more? One more? That's old school. Okay, all right. Let's do some like this. Let's do something y'all may actually. Okay, here we go. This is for all the ladies in the house tonight. Woo! Woo! Yeah! Who's lit up in here tonight? Who's lit up in here tonight? Nobody? Get live, y'all. Come on, it's live. It's live. Here you go. All the ladies in the house tonight. This is untitled too. I am checking you slowly, lowly from swirls of battered events, attempting to escape battles experienced daily. Lately, the Amsterdam crams my liver to deliver all visitors in my vicinity, but many see reactions of who hates me. Berate me, I don't give a Buck to buck, stack piles and penny jars, drink liquor but never starve. Enjoy 70s black exploitation films in the rim when trim was on ghetto boulevards. My Hollywood star with an Afro icon, love rap hugs like an African python, forever constricts tighter. Freedom fighter reunions in communion with lifers. Is King James mightier? We know Solomon never borrowed men, fear hidden pyramids, whole gold in Western Museum glass cases, complexion from the reflection, be dark-skinned races, witnesses from blasphemous, the archaeological hatred, the black matrix, no numbers, just names rain on your monitor, monikers red like slave auctions, figures pale, sold for beads and L, swell commerce that flirts without caution. Speaking high, squeak like dolphins, frequency, be leniency to Morse code, untold Caucasoids grow paranoid from the void of our newfound scrolls. Political polls remold this atmosphere, making our vision clear, no fear to continue fetal legacies ahead of me. Birth pains, gain kings and queens, sing and re-queens with tones so heavenly. This is crazy. Black babies save me 'cause they're our future, so I intertwine minds like the Kama Sutra, twisting, shape-shifting. The host of the growth can forever build pyramids from black kids never had house or field. Teach them diversity can hurt me when exposing plans to the other man. Stolen credits got your debit beheaded, shredded like the motherland. Souls for fame shames our ancestors' names, but I run like escaped slaves misbehave without the Olympic flame. Maps on my back, I lose more toes. That's whips, tracks, and tribal woes. Matt Turner sermons burning the new black Christian faith. I am Shirley Caesar. On believers, I got truth, facts, life, light to battle the hate. Strengthen legacies for those ahead of me and give the wealth that's left. The final expand my chest and go home with a smile on the face of my last breath. That's untitled, y'all. Yeah. I just want to remind everybody, hey, just network, connect. If you're serious about the business, if you're really serious about the business, network and connect, all right? Enjoy the rest of the show, peoples. Hey. I know, man. My phone's old, man.
You're good. All right, then, friends. So if you just walked in, this is Sacred Voices. We are a family space. Like to think of us as like drug-free and alcohol-free and all that too. So please support that. Also, if someone comes up here and says their pronouns, please also mind that, right? So if someone says that their pronouns are they, them, and only they, them, say only they, them. Thank y'all so much. With that, I got Alex on deck, but coming up, I also have to call this person out because they wrote an emoji as the title of their piece. Who does that? I also know this person as an individual, like, living meme. So, with that being said, please bring up Mateo. Applause, 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 applause for that individual right there.
I am not this tall. Oh, this one? This one? Yes. We did it. Okay. So what's up, everybody? How's everyone doing? Yeah? That's good to hear. I love you too. Okay. All right, so today I got another depressing love poem for you all, since I guess that's my thing now. So I've been really processing through a lot of stuff that I've gone through. And the thing about breakups and various things like that is even if you're over that person, the hurt from that breakup can linger with you for quite a bit. And I, y'all felt that, but so anyways, I'm kind of in that sort of headspace in the current moment. So, I wrote this kind of just to, try to put a final nail in the casket type of thing. And yeah, just to process through that. So hopefully y'all can gain something from it. I'm sorry if you relate in any way, cause this is very painful, but here we go. So this is called When a Zombie Loves a Ghost. There is a wound in my heart, the silhouette of your wordless loss. I used to be so angry with you for this ghost you left me without a name. Oh, wait a minute. This is the wrong draft. Give me 1 second. It was missing 2 stanzas. I can't read this. Hold up. Laughter is important for healing. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right. So, when a zombie loves a ghost, there is a wound in my heart, the silhouette of your wordless loss. I used to be so angry with you for this ghost you left me without a name, this emptiness more painful than the tearing. To survive your absence, I had to become a zombie, hungry for resolution. I wrapped my brain around my finger and took matters into my own hands. I tendrilled my gray around the splinters of my ribcage, forgetting a brain cannot pump blood throughout my body. I retraced my steps. I went back through our timeline of pictures and tried to pinpoint the exact time when things started to go wrong, tried to rationalize what emotion and memory distorted. It took me so long to understand the facade of your pride. Sometimes we leave without saying anything because we don't have the right words to name our love and our pain together, not because we don't care. Perhaps you thought you were sparing me your spite with your avoidance. Perhaps you also knew that you were punishing me by withholding. You didn't want to lose control. You didn't want to be seen as weak or dependent. It took me so long to understand that your despondence was your greatest expression of hurt and fear, your trusted display of protection. You were never one to talk about your feelings, even more than I. What loving words could you have given me, of vulnerability, of compassion, of remorse and redemption that you had never learned for yourself? Words I tried to teach you that were never mine to give, to the detriment of myself. How was I to feel anything but abandoned and betrayed when I had never been taught that I deserved better? Sometimes we say things that we don't mean because we can't stand the empty space in between. I tried to reach out, but words failed me, for I had nothing left to say to you that could have mended our broken selves. I burned all of your gifts to me, both given and taken. I erased all of your pictures, those bittersweet memories I didn't think twice about taking. Call me jaded. Nowadays, I think twice about pictures I snap with spirits that may just be flashes. I know this isn't the point of love. This isn't the point of life, but I have learned the tenderness of loving after burning. So it goes. Loving after heartbreak is like trying to rediscover innocence, to learn to dream again despite, to point and laugh at stars, wishing, knowing that they are already dying. Thank you.
All right, Mateo, that makes up for using a meme as the title of your poem. You as a writer, your job is literally to find words to things. He's like, I don't know what to call it. call it poem. Call it poem. There's a line in that I really enjoyed. I think a lot of people can take a lot of wisdom from. I did not have the name, or I did not have the language to name love and pain at the same time, or something along those lines. I think a lot of the times in 2019, because of the accessibility of information and titles and labels for things, we tend to really like pinhole ourselves with the available language that we have for things, and we don't necessarily look for things that might capture how complex and complicated and sometimes conflicting things are. Because raise your hand if you've ever loved and hated someone at the same time. Yep. Everyone's damn hand should be up. Everyone's damn hand should be up, right? And so the point is, if we are constantly putting ourselves in relationships, looking for that relationships, or looking at those relationships as if they offer a singular thing or things that we can give singular names, then you're not really doing justice to the duality and the spectrum of things, right? Yes, you can love someone and know that they are unhealthy for you and still love them, right? And be like, you know what? We are good for each other from 10 feet away. How are you doing? Cool, good to see you, and then back off, right? In the same way that some people are like, oh, they're not the most amazing person in the world. They're not like the best writer. They're not like the best dancer. They're not like the best this. But that person could literally have wisdom for you that you are not paying mind to because they're not as impressive as the other person over there, right? This person is unhealthy for you. This person is perfectly great for you. You're paying more mind to that person because they're more impressive, right? Duality. Just because someone's impressive doesn't always mean they have something for you. Sometimes the person who doesn't necessarily catch your eye, that's the person you should go be paying attention to. Right? So just mind yourself sometimes that we get attracted to things because you're like, oh, you clearly have the thing that I want. It's like, nah, you only believe that they got the thing that you want because they're big and shiny and you want to be big and shiny. So you're like, you got to go learn from them. Nope, that's not how life works, guys. Duplicity. Understanding that multiple people carry multiple things, and just because it's nice and shiny doesn't mean it's always for you. Right? Cool. Continue along. I got Alex coming up. On deck, I got Charlie. But with that being said, Alex apparently is cute, queer, and good at massages. With that being said, make some noise for Alex! Not that one. We're doing this one.
I'm not very tall. Is this good? All right. Hi, my name is Alex. I also use just they, them pronouns. I'm a little bit less nice about it than Bree is, though, so. Okay, I have 2 poems tonight. I've already performed the first one at one point, but hopefully it goes okay. So the first one is called Baubles. I am a tongue-cut sparrow, spilling sapphires and silkworms from the crack in my beak. I pull cotton sheets taut, clawing for words like spitfire dragons drinking wine and seething love, like brown boys with dark eyes begging for flesh, like forest fires with flames like faces, like rage, like oceans, like sorrow like chasms, deep enough to cut through bone like butter. These are not my words. And I can't quite figure out how. How can I spool ribbons with chewed nails, pull love and tears with shaking fingers, craft hearts from the marrow of my wings? I don't know how to count my own heartbeats. 4, 2, 10, 3, 2, 2, 5, 1, 2, 3. I am a statue, burnished bronze layered over worn wooden blocks, carved with careful hands. I know that oceans will burst from my chest and soak my parchment collarbones blue before I learn how to sharpen the twin tips of my tongue, wipe the blood from my stinging skin-stripped lips, and speak. Thanks. So that's my first one, and the second one is a new one. This one stings a little bit, but okay. This one is called "Thoughts on Interracial Love." Oh, shit. It's pretty short. Anyways, Your tongue is warm and smooth, like melting butter. I had forgotten the sensation of being held, with faces pressed into my neck, breath hot and soft, pouring warm rain into my flesh. Thank you, love. You remind me what it means to know everything and still be a fool. But how do I call this love golden? I am so afraid of losing my lacquered fans and ringing voice and borrowed sweatshirts and radio stations. I do not know where this red string leads. I think I am too afraid to follow it and discover a chord I cannot slice through or find nothing but frayed ends. This is frozen strawberries and warmed honey and whole milk. I drink the sweet ocean before bed, fall asleep with an aching stomach, and dream of katsuki and furikake on bleached rice. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I know a lot of people got like, there's like a couple of lines in that I got sentiment from. One of them was like faces on fire. I don't know why, but that was just a striking image, right? To see like someone's cheekbones and everything on fire. But the other one was like something along the lines of like ocean breaking from your collarbones onto the parchment paper before you sharpen your tongue, right? Especially for writers, I like to think that a lot of us aren't necessarily the most social people. I'm definitely a big exception. I'm not one of those people, right? I'm hella social. Point being, we don't necessarily always have the best responses or the best experiences when we're trying to be in the moment. Hence, why writers are writers. They tend to say stuff and then in the like safety of their own house or the safety of their own space go process stuff, right? And when we get to do that, we do get to see these sentiments, because I'm pretty sure a lot of you have had that experience before where you're just like, ooh, I should have just sharpened my tongue and cut you right there, but instead I did not. I don't know what happened, right? And so being able to understand how to give that language, that was really, really pretty. So I appreciated that so much. So on my mistaking end, I completely skipped a person, even though I told them that they were up next, and then I just kept reading down the list. So on deck, we actually have Charlie, because who I forgot to bring up last time was Roland. So can if Roland is still here, can we get Roland up to the stage? There's Roland! Keep the applause going. Keep him on the positive note all the way up to the stage. We want him to get up here elated. Thank you so much.
I tell people I like to joke a little because sometimes I write too serious. Hey. It's okay. Yes. When I was young and in my prime, I could do it any time. Now that I'm old and gray, 5 times a day. My best friend looks at me and he says, "What are you talking about? Taking a nap or going to the bathroom?" Too much. Okay. Stay right here.
You can't hear yourself coming out of that speaker.
Okay.
We can't hear you at all. So just
Okay. Whew.
there you go.
Being that we're in a political world and we're getting pretty involved with the President of the United States, I guess it's time for us to listen to a little poetry. This one is called A Capital Offense, Washington, D.C. Defense. Poor President Trump, he hit a bump, got a bump on the head instead. Hurt and exposed, he ended up without clothes. A bloody nose, I suppose. What was the reason? A Trump season for treason. Up to his hilt in guilt. In this stormy season with truth, did he screw around in the alien booth? Deep within his soul, exposing a hole with a pole to slide down to the ground with a frown upside down. Silly Trump with another bump, sat on his rump, and he said he didn't care if naked and bare, not in despair, but pulling his hair. He blamed his neurosis, but it was his psychosis, his struggle with self-reality. So then he ran into a tree and said he could not see the big tree of life in strife. Then he pulled out a knife to get a nice slice, but it was only bark, kind of dark, and it made him moody, kind of super duty, with thoughts vindictive in nature, thinking about past frustrations and suffering, or was he bluffing? If Trump's emotions are impaired, he tries to share how it is unfair, him pulling his hair. He deserves special privileges and no bother with no responsibility for others. In his self-interest is skepticism exempt from criticism, expectations and effort, a cynicism impaired by a psychotic disorder like schizophrenia and delusions with no solutions. In his lofty private world, there is no actuality in reality. As Trump does feel above everyone else and refuses to change, he has a peculiar dense range. In his irrational character, he may feel godly, claim to be appointed, except he cannot avoid death anointed. A crushing experience to panic from the Pacific to the Atlantic. A realization of a futility in life and a fate is to think you are greater than great. With supreme attributes, but have a neurotic difficulties in false realities. Trump thinks he is fast as Comcast, and indeed, in speed, extraordinary, not ordinary. This was one of the pages. I'm going into the second. The fool's fool. Excuse me. As the leader of the United States of America, the elite prince of darkness has appeared with a problem. For all to see the opportunity in history to overcome the dark cloud in the light of day cast in his own way. With all that back Trump on his path, with his play on words, they are stumbling over turds. From Russia to the Ukraine, it's driving many insane. His tit and tat is ruining our natural habitat. Viktor Frankl showed us the way to survival in the revival of understanding, not grandstanding. How? Between the stimulus and response is the freedom of choice, with a loud voice and an opportunity and creativity to overcome his negativity. Every day in every way is the challenge of the dark chaos and disorder to bring all things back to order. In the gift of life, with the white dove of truth, in a voice voting booth, pushing and pulling 2 steps forward and 5 steps back, like an alcoholic, is very symbolic of dysfunctional, trying to be functional in a definition of insanity, repeating the same thing over and expecting different results. Overcoming addictive behavior can be our savior in the light of day in a big way. So hey, a new day to stand up and say, forward and upward, more like thriving and not conniving. Politicians and lobbyists get rich and bitch that they know the way to sway. The ignorant people with promises of words and ink, and all they do is make us stink. The cost of freedom is lost in the cost of inflated goods, leading us to the fiscal cliff woods. If you get the drift, protection of the armed forces excuse me. Wait a second. Protection of the armed forces for the elite in the New World Order to support her. That's what I'm talking about. Are we the fools of fools with an ignorant fool? Amen. I don't know if I have one more. Just real quick. A new world order, if truth be told, as new 21st century Homo sapien generations are born and they can only live from their new evolving daily point of view, and the old 20th century is history except for the older survivors. This is a digital life with a bird in hand, one cell phone click away for different patterns of social interaction. The resources evolve in the amazing new tech networks with strategies for a new global dynamics in the elite world. Wealth, concentrated and an upscale shakeup is in order. There is a time for a new world order, understanding the dynamic need to change within the outdoors, the indoors, the need to build different magnets for the young millennials so they can figure out how it is going to work. The future is a moving target to aim for, and the engine is smart development. People's needs and disposable income is at the center of things. For a different marketplace with its own code and culture online with faces to screen. This is about the impulsive and impersonal millennium question, and it is about how to create and manage the ideas needed to bring people together and organize the flow to avoid the overload for treatment of everyone, and how to provide answers. All live in a world gone mad with some ignorant of history, yet how do we provide a new grand visual understanding with the sound effects? Elaborate and impressive for an example in knowledge. We can create an extraordinary, ambitious, extraordinary plan. Thank you.
I low-key appreciate how Roland's like, I'm not going to use the microphone. No, this is not going to happen. He's like, nope. I love it. That's just like a real person type of situation right there, which is exactly what we want out of this place. So if you're walking in, welcome to Sacred Voices. Some people have gotten on the open mic. If you did not get on the open mic and you would like to be on the open mic, just go up to the front in a little bit and sign up. We still got space for sure. If you are just coming, we are being broadcast live onto Facebook. So when you come up here, you could just let people know that they can come watch you later on Facebook Live on our page, Sacred Voices. Also, if you have a Patreon and would like to donate to our Patreon, it just goes to support us on a monthly basis. If you do not have a Patreon, Venmo is still a acceptable way to support our cause. All of it is at Sacred Voices, right? If you do not know who we are, you could also go find us on Facebook and Instagram. I always say this: if you cannot financially support anyone, at least support them on social media, because that way you're providing legitimacy to the fact that we are actually growing and providing a service for the people. And if we can show that like our Facebook page has grown or our Instagram page has grown by adding new people, then that's the proof that new people are coming. Right? So that's what I like to say. If you don't got money, give us a like, give us a share. And if we ever post anything, share it out to the world so that we can grow. Cool. With that, we had some people who signed up. So Charlie is coming up next, but El Ria, I hope I said that right. Rima, your M was an H. El Rima is, you're going to be on deck. Cool? Okay, cool. So with that, make a lot of noise and bring up the person working the door, Charlie.
My leg fell asleep, so give me a second. I'd say a 5, because those chairs are uncomfortable. No. I came for poetry, not about my life, even though my poetry is about my life. All right. So anyway, like how Franklin said, my name's Charlie. I'm a slam poet by night. I'm a biologist by day. And I usually only do like 2 poems during each set, but since it's the last Sacred Voices open mic for the year, I decided to do 3. All right? And before I forget, this first one is actually an unofficial collaboration with me and a friend of mine who's over on the East Coast right now. Yep. So this is a little shout out to them all the way to the East Coast. I'm pretty sure they're watching on the live feed right now. So let's get it. I am grateful for all the things I could not change. Con el olorcito de copal machacado dentro de mi ser, agradezco las bellas locuras de mi mundo entero. Grateful for being born again. In new verses here in Denver, new villages on Friday. Creado con partes chihuahuenses dentro de un país que ama mi cultura pero detesta mi cuerpo físico, mi ciudad de Denver, donde escondido debajo de sus rascacielos mi comunidad siempre vivirá, dentro de la música y colores de diferentes sabores. I am grateful that I know defeat. I am grateful that she has given me a key. Mi amante la derrota porque aunque fallo siempre me respalda dándome la llave de levantarme otra vez sin importando mis heridas abiertas. Gratitude comes in so many shapes and forms, from the smallest of thanks to the largest of self-sacrifices. Staying true to pass on the selfless acts with one another, you can make the world go round without needing it to be blinded. Con las Con las mentalidades, diferencias que siempre nos marcan. Es como podemos ir con la frente bien alta contra nuestros enemigos que todavía usan esas reliquias de la época de descubrimiento, sin sabiendo que hay más valor en nuestra comunidad que cualquier ciudad de oro. And that's the end of that one. Hey. Hey, there we go. Give me a quick sec while I pull up the next one. There's about like 10 gigabytes worth of data on my phone dedicated to poetry. So I gotta like filter through each one. So give me a second. No, because I'm on a budget. No. Anyway, so this next one, I technically made it for Christmas, even though it's not Christmassy in the sense of how y'all know Christmas. It's the season of giving, being with family, this, that, the fourth. If you haven't already noticed, I'm actually Mexican, contrary to popular belief. Who knew, right? Right? So just to give... I ruined the mystery. Oh, well. But anyway, just to give a little context, like the shirt I'm wearing, if you can see it, it's a friend of mine made it. It represents Los Seis de Boulder. If y'all don't know the story, please like find me after my little performance after the show and we can like talk out what went down in Boulder. But I decided to wear this shirt specifically because this next poem, I wanted it to be dedicated. If y'all haven't followed like current events with like immigration and CBP and how like innocent kids have been legit dying in concentration camps, there's no other way around to say this, so I decided to make a little poem about it because that hits close to me because I'm a first-gen immigrant kid myself. So let's get it. I know I don't look the part. When I was in elementary school, I used to jokingly introduce myself as Chris instead of who I really was. He was a make-believe caricature who only spoke English, ate pizza rolls, and whose favorite color was anything but brown. I know I don't look the part. Fast forward the clock to 2009, I remember I used to brag to my old middle school crew that I would never shed a tear and ate fear for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, a certified, fresh Mexicano winner. Until I got that knock. 4 officers in blue standing out my door as my mother went for the lock. At 5:45 a.m. Tuesday, February 9th. A quarter till I would find myself be brokenly torn between 2 worlds. One where I needed to keep a smile plastered on my face, and one where I needed to find a way to keep my pieces together, afraid of saying, I plead the fifth. I know I don't look the part. If it wasn't for the art that I made that helped numb my mental pain as I surgically stitched my heart back together, I wouldn't be here. If it wasn't for the few sprinkled teachers who showed me what writing and sharing your story could do for you, I wouldn't be breathing. If it wasn't for my college mentors and homies who said I had skills behind a pen and paper, I wouldn't be remembered. I know I don't look the part. But did Juan de Leon Gutierrez look the part when all he wanted to do was buy some extra maíz y frijol so his family wouldn't starve? Did Darlene Cristabel Cordova look the part when they failed to cover up her death? Did Jacqueline Cal look the part when she was dying of thirst? Did Felipe Gomez Alonso look the part when he just had a cold that could have been treated? Did baby Wilmer Josue Ramirez Vasquez look the part? Did my brother, Carlos Gregorio Hernandez Vasquez, look the part as he was left alone to die in a pool of his own blood? I know I don't look the part. Fast forward to today. From my caracol comal hair to the beige, not quite white exterior, I know that I don't look the part because the part isn't a cookie cutter mold for me and everyone else you see. Thinking that it's a solid victory seeing the commander in Cheeto get formally impeached. Tell that to these 6 kids that won't be able to grow up. That it took them this long to finally make a tiny, insignificant move. Tell their families that everything will be fine. Tell their siblings that justice has been served. Tell their mothers and fathers that they can be rest assured that now 45 will have an additional asterisk in history written in their kids' blood. We can be doctors, artists, astronauts, and even your housekeeper. But at the end of the day, you're still the same racist, hate-filled, jealous creeper. That's the end of that one. Oh, wow. Okay. Y'all got me all gassed up. Okay. Let's see. Should I do this one? I gotta make sure this one's the right one because there's a lot of drafts, like I said. All right. This one's a little bit more funnier, a little bit more conversational. So please bear with me as I will do the most cringiest of poems in front of y'all. So, okay. Did y'all know that the reason why pirates used to have the whole eye patch situation going on was that so they could see in the dark for like any of the legal, not so legal piratey shit that went down? I just find it cool to think that these fools were able to observe and experiment with themselves in order to get what matters most in a pirate's career, the booty. We're looking at 2020 right around the corner, and you might ask yourself, what does pirate booty have to do with anything? Well, it doesn't really. I just thought it'd be a neat bit of trivia. Wow, I sounded like Porky Pig right there. A neat bit of trivia to end the year with, and most likely wake up with my shorts missing in some unknown alleyway as I get my New Year cheer on, if you know what I mean. Anyway, I've had folks who are older than me tell me that I haven't lived as long as they have, so why should I be tired? Better yet, you're only 23. What could you possibly have lived through that has made you this exhausted? You haven't even lived like me. Ever since the age of 6, all I knew was that I had to go to the classroom, do work from 9 to 5, not including any sports or school clubs or even Saturday school sessions. Yes, I went to school on Saturdays too, not including mass because I'm a horrible Catholic. But anyway, to get a piece of paper that would let me do the same exact process but somewhere else, I would like to bump and grind in a different career path, as you can see, and I'm just making this up because I've lost my train of thought, but oh well, that rhymed. Hey, okay. Until the next time, I would need to do this all over again and again and again to keep on adding letters behind my name because that's what society loves in this game of life. Being first generation doesn't help since I'm the author of the instruction manual that I need to refer to constantly, where I need to be handy with my hands while making sure my feet don't get nailed down as just another statistic, a misplaced cog in the machinery where my wings get dipped in mercury. being brought up in a brown household where my only choice was to be a doctor didn't really help either, since my mind has always loved to hone its eclectic edge, even when it has been broken into shards. Yeah, I know eclectic. See, college ain't a waste on me. I've been a part of actions across the country. I became my own financial aid stockbroker to barely keep me afloat during school. I've road tripped enough for 3 lifetimes. I might have killed Bugs Bunny on one of those road trips, but that's a story for another day. I've broken hearts while having mine duct taped so much it doesn't even break at this point. All while handling my situation of needing to switch what mask I present to the world from the neighborhood friendly, hi, don't worry, I'm not brown, I'm just tan looking, to just being myself, a joker who will tell it to you straight, sin pelos en la lengua. The 2010s were definitely a good decade for me. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about trusting other folks. But most importantly, I remembered that the silent silver bell still rings for me, as it did for me in 5th grade when I stained the tile floors in my secluded stairwell overlooking the Mile High all the way down to my court hearing, where I was told, based on my intelligence, that was reason enough to have my pops forced out of this country. As it did for me when I had to defend myself against twisted allegations while going to college, where the moment I spoke truthfully, I was considered a thug, a threat, and even a lazy Mexican. And as it will ring again when I see my name on that expensive college receipt in the mail, 2020 will be the year where my tears that have soaked the soil I've walked will give rise to the maíz frijol mixed dreams, where the only place we have left to go is up. There we go. And I'm done.
That was dope. I had so many things to like just register. For one, Los Seis, that is a very, very like Colorado specific story, especially for the Latin community. I think I learned about the Seis along the same time that I learned that Auraria campus, a strip in Auraria campus was actually one of the first primary Latino communities in all of Denver. And it was like one of the most astonishing things for me to see like the transformation of that into this like university in this campus that everyone is constantly flocking to, yet we do not know that history, right? Like a lot of those houses that are on that strip are the original houses that were there, right? And then as gentrification and development went on, people were forcibly removed from those places, and then the property was eventually sold to Auraria campus, and now it is what it is, right? It's the same thing with Boulder. In Boulder, like the conversations of Boulder literally have been going on for a couple of decades now, right? To the point that literally there is death on like upon that conversation that extends equally decades back, right? So things that our students are currently fighting today have history at least 20 years old, right? With that specific institution. So as much as we know what's going on in the world, as much as we know what's going on in history, I think it's important for us to know what's going on locally and what has locally happened in our own history. This conversation doesn't only extend to the Latin community. You could look this up for pretty much any other community, like insert group here, and there will be a current history about them that extends back to the history of Denver, probably 20, 30 years back, right? So thank you for bringing that up. On another announcement, we have our friend Yao Bitzlin right there. She has a company, Familias Unidas. Also, if you have not seen the table, you were not paying attention as you walked in because it's glorious. The literal first words that came out of my mouth, I didn't even see her there. I was like, who's stealing my money today, right? Because I was like, someone's getting my money today, which is hilarious because I didn't even know that she was there. I just saw her material, and then literally I saw her face. I was like, I've bought things from you before, right? That's how good her stuff is. I didn't even need to see her. I was like, oh, this is great. This is me. This is mine. She actually, funny story, let me hype you up real quick. So I didn't have my ears pierced. I saw her earrings, and I saw some earrings, and I was like, oh, these are mine. And my sister was like, you don't have your ears pierced. And I was like, exactly. And my sister was like, oh, because she knew I was going to get my ear pierced specifically to put on your earrings, which is the first pair of earrings I've ever bought, right? And now, as you could tell, Ooh, we begin in the earring game, y'all. My next venture is to literally get tiny little anime characters to hang from my ears, right? So for one, thank you for starting me on my earring journey. Please support her. She has ridiculously phenomenal work. If you have not seen her work, go there, even if it's just to take a photo and be like, y'all, look at this lady, buy from her, right? Christmas just passed by, holidays just passed by, Kwanzaa is currently going. I don't know about Hanukkah. Is Hanukkah over? I'm not the most still going? Cool. Go buy gifts. Last minute gifts. You didn't get a Kwanzaa gift. You didn't get a Hanukkah gift. Bam, right there. Any other cultures that celebrate? There's like 100 things that are being celebrated right now all over the world, but I only know Christmas, Kwanzaa, and Hanukkah, right? But if you have any other cultures that need gift giving opportunity right there. Also, you just need fly ass earrings because you cute and want to up your cute game? Boom, right there. Also, you just want to support women running their own business? Right there. Also, you just want to support indigenous people running their own business? Right there, right? Like literally, you could just knock out all of your social justice initiatives right there. Cool. Okay. With that being said, I got Deborah on deck, but coming up right now, make a lot of noise for El Rima.
Buenas noches. Estas son cosas que pasan en la vida real. Yo no tuve control sobre nada de esto. Yo soy el rima, el que rima con el alma. Me puedes encontrar por Instagram como el rima soy yo. Novio buscándote, tú en mi habitación, desnudado o acostado, hicimos lo que hacemos mejor, hicimos el amor toda la noche, mientras pensaba en todo, la pasamos muy bien, porque me siento incómodo de todos modos, y es que no soporto la verdad. Tienes otra relación, oh, yo soy solo otro enamorado más. Volví a mezclar los sentimientos sin preocupación. Sé que nuestra relación está jodida. Tenemos que vernos, amarnos, besarnos, querernos a escondidas. Estar así es una agonía. Que estés con otro y me digas que tú eres mía. Me engañaste y así yo lo sentí. Juré estar toda la vida para ti, pero ¿cómo tú me hiciste esto? Si yo por ti estaba dispuesto a dejarlo todo y ahora lo lamento y no sé qué hacer. Cuando cae el amanecer pienso que la vida es corta. Hoy salgo y voy a prender un sour kush que me mantenga pensando en otra mujer, porque más nunca en la vida te quiero volver a ver. Nah. El tiempo pasa lento sin ti solo. Es demasiado el sufrimiento, fingiendo que bien está todo. Tiempo pasa lento, sin ella solo. Es demasiado el sufrimiento, fingiendo que bien está todo. Hicimos el amor toda la noche, mientras pensaba en todo. La pasamos muy bien, porque me siento incómodo de todos modos. Y es que no soporto la verdad. Tienes otra relación, wow. Yo soy solo otro enamorado más. Volví a mezclar los sentimientos sin preocupación. Un adicto a ti, mujer. Noches de placer hasta el amanecer, baby girl. Enloquezco otra vez, hipnotizado, rogando por tu querer. ¿Sufres? Nah, por no poder escoger. Egoísta, vives dos vidas a la vez. Libertad, libertinaje, reconócelo, mujer. Me voy, no te quiero volver a ver. ¿Lo ves? Lastimosa situación, ¿por qué entregarte mi respeto a cambio de tu vacilón? Dejé el corazón en la canción, pensaste ser el premio, pero el premio yo. Hicimos el amor toda la noche, mientras pensaba en todo. la pasamos muy bien, porque me siento incómodo de todos modos. Y es que no soporto la verdad, tienes otra relación, wow. Soy otro enamorado más, volví a mezclar los sentimientos sin preocupación. Hicimos el amor toda la noche, mientras pensaba en todo. La pasamos muy bien, porque me siento incómodo de todos modos. Y es que no soporto la verdad, tienes otra relación, wow. Yo soy solo otro enamorado más, volví a mezclar los sentimientos sin preocupación. Eso fue una historia de la vida real. Les quiero recitar otra composición. Mis amigos en Puerto Rico me llaman el Benerican. Soy original de Venezuela, ahora aquí representando en Denver. Entonces, dice así. Buen día. De esta forma doy inicio, momento propicio, para hablar de mi trayecto. Yo soy el Rima. Libre y vivo me presento y espero que disfruten lo que trae nuestro encuentro. Tenía tiempo que no me presentaba e ignoraba si algún día me escucharían. Parte de las vivencias que mi tierra dejaba asimiladas, que me definen hoy en día, y aprendía cómo se gana y se pierde, que el amor verdadero todo lo comprende. La vida es más bella cuando todo te sorprende, pero sea como sea, del resultado se aprende. A mi lado no puede faltar una disciplina del tamaño de mi voluntad. Lo que quiero llega solo con imaginar, por la fuerza de atracción en mis sueños por alcanzar. Y es que somos lo que pensamos y no pensamos que al capricho nos aferramos. Creemos que moriremos por lo que no tenemos, sin saber que más sufrimos por lo que deseamos. Vamos, que esto no es un regaño. Esto es sentido común que comúnmente olvidamos. Dedicado a todos estos hermanos que disfrutan este tema y que valoran mi trabajo. Y es que somos lo que pensamos y no pensamos que al deseo nos aferramos. Creemos que moriremos por lo que no tenemos, sin saber que más sufrimos por lo que deseamos. Hey yo, ¿por qué tan pensativo? Agradezco al Creador porque hoy me siento vivo, sembrando buena rima en tu conducto auditivo, para que con tu sonrisa demuestres que tú te sientes vivo. Y aprendí a quedarme quieto y que cuando criticas, a todo eso estás sujeto. Nada mejor que el respeto, una tolerancia activa y estar lejos de aprietos. Soluciones, casi siempre las encuentro, y si no, buscaré los medios para resolverlo. Evito ponerme tenso ante lo que me enfrento. Por lo que a mí respecta, eso es un buen comienzo. Dar sin esperar, dispuesto a aprender, tolerar al amar, levantarte al caer, compartir al ganar, aceptar al perder, servir al actuar, querer es poder. Con mi optimismo casi vuelo, y más recientemente desde que olvidé mis límites. Y así es, me preocupo menos y compuse esta canción para que te identifique. Son motivos de alegría. Los recuerdos de mi gente son como fotografías mentales que hacen que me sonría. Experiencias vividas componen mi antología. Y una vez más, gracias Diosito por no dármelo todo, sino lo que necesito. Y esa y mi música se las dedico. AKA Libre y Vivo, bueno, dejó ahora Puerto Rico. Thank you.
Pues él hizo su parte en español, so yo le voy a responder en español igual. No, honestamente, para escribir en español no es una cosa fácil, ¿verdad? Yo que nací aquí, tener que aprender el español y tener como aprender la gramática y todo eso, puedo comunicar con cualquier persona, pero para expresarme creativamente así, honestamente es un talento. So, muchas gracias. Especialmente desde venir de Venezuela y Puerto Rico. Bienvenidos. So just to translate, right? Because multilingual in this fool. Like, it is incredibly hard to write in Spanish. I'm full-blooded Mexican, like Indio and everything like that. And I had to teach myself Spanish here because I was raised in an American context, in the U.S. context, right? And even as much as I've learned about grammar, as much as I've learned about words, to express myself creatively is still a challenge that I have because it's yet another level of Spanish, right? You don't even need to, it's not enough to just know the words. It's how to know how to turn words. Like, hiciste tanto con las palabras en ese obra, güey. Like, había tantas cosas que podía sacar como tesoros y tanto así que hasta este momento no me puedo recordar. Este hook que hiciste es que ya se me olvidó lo que lo que sufrimos es porque lo que hago, porque lo que hago, porque lo que hago. Era tan íntrico que es demasiado como nomás observar y luego digerir en ese momento y luego recordarte y luego repetirlo todo otra vez. Y luego además, ese fue el único que me puedo recordar. Había como 90 otros en esa obra, ¿verdad? So, again, right, because I can see everybody who's English, they're like, wow, they're having a whole conversation in Spanish. There's so many hooks, there's so many things in his writing that, like, it was just, there was a one that I like, it was a refrain that he kept going over and over and over again. That alone was so well written that like I was so caught on that one, and there's like 90 other things in his writing that I could have pulled out from, right? And there's 2 pieces. So like, let's do math, right? Otra vez, mil gracias por venir acá. On deck, I got ISIS, but coming up right now, let's make some noise for Deborah!
Wow, I actually know how to do this now. Okay. Hi, it's the holiday season. My name is Deborah. Been finding out a couple of things about my name lately, about my family. By the way, this is a stand-up comedy set. If you snap at my jokes, I'm gonna shake my head at you. Like, what are y'all doing? I feel like stand-up comics and poets, you know, we essentially do the same exact thing, you know. It's just a different effect, you know. Like, my goal is to make people laugh, and your goal is to make people cry. And I'm all for it. I'm all for it. No, yeah, I've been finding out new things about my family. My family's been finding out new things about me. I had a conversation with my oldest sister yesterday. She wanted to know if I was gay or bi. And for some reason, I didn't really feel particularly inclined to give her an answer. But what she said next really floored me. It was a really intuitive question. She asked if there were levels. Like, yes, sweetheart. I just unlocked the Warlock map. So yeah. We're really killing the game right now. But I've been making a lot of gay jokes lately, so I'm getting really tired of that. Like how much attention do I need, really? Yeah, a lot of attention, apparently, Brie. All of my friends, though, are chastising me about my dating habits. Yeah. I have a couple of well-meaning friends. Bree is in the back. Mateo's over there. One thing about Mateo is an amazing poet. He's really an amazing poet. However, you are amazing too. You are my father, Bree. However, Mateo, this is not at you. You changed my life, and here's why. Astrology. Astrology used to be a fake science to me. Now it's a way of life, and however, I do think we've gone a bit far. We've definitely gone a bit far. What if I go into jury duty and somebody's like, well, Jerome Higgins used a taser, punched 5 people in the face and stole 2 Twinkies. However, Your Honor, may I present? The files show that he's an Aries moon. So that makes sense. It makes sense. It makes sense. Makes sense. Uh, yeah. Yeah, but my friends think that my dating habits are just not okay, I guess, because they think that there's this concept in the queer world, or just, in the woke world, called decolonizing your desires, or, oh no. The baby doesn't want to hear any of this. Yes, I know. I'm tired too. It's called decolonizing your desires, and essentially means that I, as a black person, should not consider white people as viable dating options. And yeah, I heard that silence too. I humbly disagree. I humbly disagree with that statement, and here's why. I have a lot of friends who are interracial, and I also have a great, rebuttal to that statement. Are they really colonizing my pussy, or am I integrating theirs? Like, are they really segregating my nether regions? Or did I just pull a full Little Rock 9? Like, yeah. Like, are they really, invading my space? Or did I drop a whole affirmative action on theirs? Come on, guys. Yeah. Wow. I have to show this to my parents tomorrow, so. Yeah. Okay. I was meaning to do a story, a very serious story, of the tough times. But before, there's gonna be a preamble. Like I said, my name is a hot topic in the world. Everyone wants to fuck it up, destroy it. That's why I go by the name Deb, because many times I would hear this from the voice box at school. I don't know what it's called. Hello, Deborah Tsaiji. Can you please come to the Deborah, Deborah, Dabra, Debra. Yeah, I'm not having any of that. Also, I feel like Little Debbie is so discriminatory. I will pull that entire line from the shelves if I had the chance. Yeah, but my name, it's a Hebrew name. It's from the Bible. It means Queen of the Honeybees. Now, I know, that's a really, all the poets are like, wow, she's like gifted. Like, the waves are speaking. Yeah, my name means Queen of the Honey. My name means Queen of the Honeybees. But what's more interesting is like my siblings' names. Now, my brother's name is Barnabas. I know, really flamboyant name. Like, what an attention grabber. God. His name means son of encouragement. And my little sister, who is right over there, her name is Jerusalem. And I don't know if y'all, read the Bible, but Jerusalem literally means holy city of God. So I guess we can guess who was the accident here. It was me. Okay. But yeah, growing up, we grew up in Minnesota, like inner city Minnesota, project housing Minnesota. This is all to say that one night, my parents, meaning my mom and what's that word? Live-in sperm donor. They were gonna go to church, and so they decided to leave Barnabas and me home alone. We were 5. And Jerusalem, growing up, she was a very violent kid. She once punched a kid in the neck, and then she got banned from Wisconsin Dells. So, yeah, that was a vibe. But yeah, she would constantly get into fights with us. It was like every single night was like Friday night smackdown. And I was the call girl, just holding up my encyclopedias like round 1, bitches. Let's get it. Yeah, so Barnabas and I were sitting down. We're watching the world's greatest reality show, might I add. And I don't know if you've heard of this show. That's right, Super Nanny. Now, if you don't know what Super Nanny is, let me enlighten you. A British woman will come into the homes of middle-class America and tell you exactly what a shitty job you're doing with your children. And I lived for it. I ate that up. I was out here drinking from my Monsters Inc. sippy cup, just like, when are they gonna let Tammy off of these timeouts? They're not working. And my brother and I actually start getting into a fight. We start like swinging at each other. I smack him, he smacks me, and I give him a big whop. And I thought he was going to kill me, but he doesn't. He actually holds his cheek for a good minute, and he decides that he's gonna go sit down in the kitchen. And he's going, and he's sitting down, and he's like, wow, we really have a problem. It's wise words from a 5-year-old. And I'm like, no, you have a problem, because, like, square up. But then I was like, you know what? You're right. We shouldn't be fighting this much as kids, you know. You know what, Barnabas? And I say possibly the worst thing that you can say to a 5-year-old with a home phone right behind him. Maybe we can call Super Nanny. Now, the great thing about Super Nanny is that Super Nanny had a hotline, a dedicated hotline that would blink on at the end of every show. Guess what the hotline was? Nanny 911. So my brother said that he could not find the letters, so he just typed the numbers. When I say MPD came so quick, and once they finished kicking the door open, and they saw 2 kids that looked like poster, kids on UNICEF, you know. And you know, I'm just thinking about my mom at this moment, because like, imagine if you're like a mother and you're like going home and both of your babies are gone. I mean, oh my God, dream come true, guys. Come on. Woo! Honey, come here. Let's put on some Netflix. Oh my God. So yeah, that was a depressing story to tell you that life sucks and it's unfair. And let's see if I have more jokes. Let's rack my brain. So much knowledge isn't here, surprisingly. I go to CU Boulder. I hate it. Woo! Yes, SCOBUFs. Oh, yes, I'm praying. It's so overpriced. Yeah, I think it's really, like, it's a vibe. I mean, people have just, you know, said one time. It's great because I get to explain myself all the time. One time I was at a psychiatrist's office, and she was, you know, diagnosing me for several things. And she, you know, said to me, she was like, well, Deborah, can I call you Debbie? I'll call you Debbie. And I was like, yes, ma'am. And she's like, well, I've run these tests here, and you have major depression disorder and also generalized anxiety disorder. And I was like, okay, no shit, Cheryl. She's like, well, I don't think we're ready to put you on medication yet. However, have you heard of Michelle Obama? Michelle Obama, what? Is that like a soup you can get at Whole Foods? Or like a luxury sedan that you can find at your local farmer's market? I am not going to be showing this to my friends later. But goodbye. My name's Deb.
Not a weak set. You literally gave me queer warlocks. So like I'm ready. You know, I thought I was a like pretty open queer person, but clearly I have a lot of leveling up to do. Probably some battle sets, maybe like a companion animal to go find. There's probably someone with a question mark over their head who I did not ask them a question about, and now I have a quest unfulfilled. And there's probably some dungeon with some superpowered dragon on the inside that I gotta go defeat with all my queer other friends. I'm looking for queer paladins. I'm looking for queer warlocks. I'm looking for queer druids. All you fools, I got a quest going on, right? So thank you, Deborah, for combining nerdiness and comedy and all of the queerness. Big round of applause for Deborah one more time, everyone. Also, who does Deborah? Like, I feel like your name is straight up on a piece of paper, Deborah, so that's the whole situation right there. With that being said, I got Elijah on deck, but on this coming up right now, can I get a lot of noise for Isis? Where are you at? There's Isis. Round of applause. Give them all the love all the way up to stage.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me. I've been trying to come out to these for like years. Y'all have no idea. So I'm very happy to be here. My name's Isis. I use they, them pronouns. I definitely thought that I could just like sing some like other like cover songs, but since everybody's like doing their own shit, yeah, I'm gonna do some shit as well. This is boop. So this is a poem that I wrote because I live in Cap Hill, and the building that I live in decided to put up like no trespassing signs in their like tiny ass lobby area where people were sleeping because it's really fucking cold outside. And yeah, I think that that's pretty messed up that people can't just find shelter where they find shelter when they're in a situation like that. Because I've been in situations like that, and yeah, can't really talk to the people who own the building because I'm not on the lease. Got a good old eviction. But anyway, this is the poem. I love the almost city. Inhaling spray paint fumes from the courtyard through my open window at midday. The tiny lobby of our building has a no trespassing sign. I wonder what those people think about that. I wonder when I'll take anything seriously. The absurdity of it all, it being all absurd, that we do not offer all housing to humans at no cost, secure each other's autonomy, respect each other in as much as we respect ourselves. That is to say, with a loving eye toward critique and constructing a brighter, better future with balance. I have time for my people and will be kind to others, but do not ask for my civility. Do not ask for a less hostile tone from my siblings. We have harshness in our voices because we have been hurt by the systems others have imposed on us. We have strength in our voices because we have been raised by those who were brave enough to cradle our wild souls through an even wilder world and emerge again and again in all our power and glory. Shaped and shaping, we continue to breathe, and with each breath send our dearest hopes to comrades, loved ones, creatures of the earth, large and small, every droplet of water and spark of fire, particle that makes up whatever the fuck all of this is, if it is. Whatever it isn't is fucking me up in more ways than one. I feel it happening. I see it all, and yet know nothing of the future, except that it can be known by none, but in tiny ways. This poem. Thank you. And then, okay, so you know how like Facebook memories pop up? I had one pop up the other day, and I was like, did I write that? And it's just like, it's from like 2011, and I just posted it, and I was like, did I steal that? Did I actually write it? But I think I wrote it, so I'm gonna read it. I just have to find it real quick. This one also has no name. And it's like kind of sing-songy, so I'm just gonna make up a melody for it, if that's okay. Needles and pins, sew me a sail to catch the wind. Sew me a sail, strong as the gale. Carpenter, bring out your hammers and nails, hammers and nails, hammers and nails. Build me a boat to go chasing the whales, sailing the blue. Find me a captain and sign me a crew, captain and crew, captain and crew. Take me, oh, take me to anywhere new.
So we just gonna do that? We're just gonna come out with multi-talented, like, yeah, I wrote this a couple years ago. By the way, I'm a bomb-ass vocalist, so, just take that in as you will. I'm just like me and you made eye contact in the back. We were both just like, and then you went up in the octaves too, and then the lyrics on top of that. See, even Jerusalem know. When you get people making this face, you got something. You got something, right? Wow, I'm like a little struck by that. Please, y'all, do all kinds of sets. I know that this place is for the most part principally by poets. That's just because of who we hang out with, right? I'm a writer, so I hang out with a lot of poets. Josie's a writer, hangs out with a lot of poets. Mateo's we're just a bunch of writers, and so we tell our friends who so happen to be writers, if you have friends who sing, tell them. If you have friends who do stand-up, tell them. If you have friends who do live painting, tell them. We had a dude up here do a looper, right? Plugged into that wall, did a whole looping set on stage, right? By all means, it is an open mic. And I feel like a lot of the times open mics tend to get pinholed by who shows up a lot of the times. And then people are like, oh, that's the comedy open mic. That's the music open mic. That's the poetry open mic. They're open mics, y'all. Open, right? Let it come through. Cool. With that being said, I got Jesse on deck, and Jesse will close us out. But coming up next, make some noise for Elijah.
Hi guys, how you doing? My name's Elijah. I also go by Young Activist. You could follow me and on Facebook or Instagram. Yeah, you can find it anywhere. Well, this is actually my first time doing poetry. Yeah, I've only done speaking strictly because my freedom of creation when it comes to expressing myself, when it comes to poetry form, is something that I've never really entertained, so tell me what y'all think, all right? My biggest enemy is in me. Sometimes I don't know how to think, sometimes I don't know where to go. I feel like I'm the greatest threat to myself everywhere I go. Boom, pow, shots, menace to society. Maybe if I just pulled up my pants. Maybe if I just acted right. No, maybe if I just acted white. Sometimes I don't know where to go. I feel like I'm too light for my folks, but sometimes I feel like I don't want to be white, so I stick in the middle. I don't understand how to feel. I feel like my whole life's a riddle that I can't figure out. You understand that everything's a pattern in life. And for some reason, I feel like I'm trying to figure out who I am while I'm trying to figure out who my wife is, or if I need one, or if I want one, or my insecurities always overtake me. I don't know where to go sometimes. Sometimes I feel lost, but sometimes I feel found. Sometimes I feel like you are my foundation on where I'm going. You have to realize one thing in life that I've always taken with me. Don't let the world change your smile. Let your smile change the world. But it's so hard. So hard to understand that when this world always tries to tear you down before you even understand positivity is the manifestation of one. And once you understand yourself, you understand your energy, because your energy is within you, and when you're not focused on you, then you're focused on synergy. You're focused on negativity all around you because you don't know what's right or what's wrong because you're too busy going left, but in reality, you need to be going you. Something I've always was taught in my life. Don't do you. Do God. But what we don't understand is you are God. People don't understand that because we don't understand manifestation. We don't understand that we are the creation in which the Most High is created for us to follow in our lifestyle and follow in our patterns. We are the reason in which we are alive today. I don't care if you come from the bottom. I don't care if you come from the top. At the end of the day, when you're focused on you and only you, you're going to be always focused on that synergy instead of that energy in which we can create for ourselves. My biggest enemy is in me. Thank you. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and go like the page too, please. Yeah, there we go.
Right? I was loving when people say it's like, I don't do poetry. Did y'all hear the God line? Yup. Me and Deborah Andrews, and then we're both just like, right? Like literally, I'm over here like, okay, 2 people just signed up, and he said, "Don't." What was it? Don't some do God. That's what it was. I was like, Like that's a line. That's a line. I feel like people could tattoo that onto themselves. Cool. So continue the poetry journey because you're already writing tattoos, right? So like, if someone's willing to permanently put something on their body, you might as well continue going on for the rest of your life and maybe even afterwards. So we got some people who signed up, so we're going to be here just a little bit longer. Thank y'all for chilling with us and holding community. I do really believe in what he said, that like you really have to put that forward. And please understand that you are like noble, you are majesty, you are holy at any given point. This is why I like to say that like you may not consider yourself a poet, but you're living a poet's life, right? You're living an artist's life. You just happen to not write things down. Right? You see everything a poet sees. You're just the type of person who just sees it, feels it, and then you're good. Us poets were like, nah, fool, this is, And then the painter's different. They're like, oh, fool, let's, and then the musician's like, oof, right? So like we all got different avenues to do that, but that's the only difference that makes an artist. Is an artist, they see something, feel something, and then are so inspired that they have to create something, right? But nonetheless, everyone carries an artist with them, because if you feel something, you're doing the same thing as an artist. You just don't take it as far, right? If you wants to take it as far, literally, Fool just started writing poems like what, a couple days ago, a week ago, and look at him now. Look at him now, right? So with that, I got Tia on deck, but right now, is it Jesse? Or were you Jesse? Sorry, I got a little confused on my end. That was Elijah. See, sometimes as a host, you got to do a lot of things in your brain. Quick announcement before I forget. Patreon shout out one more time. If you guys don't have a Patreon, send it to people who do got Patreons. If you don't have a Patreon, go to Venmo. Don't got a Venmo? Send it to your friends who got Venmo. Hell, we'll take PayPal. We'll also take cash, right? All of that just takes the money to keep this space open, keep this space available on a monthly basis. If you do enjoy what you're feeling here, support if you can in those manners. If you do not have money, because I understand, life is life. Shout us out on Facebook, shout us out on Instagram. If you took videos today, literally at Sacred Voices, hashtag Sacred Voices. Put it on your Facebook page, Sacred Voices. Do y'all make my point? Yeah, cool. Okay. With that, I got Tia on deck, but can I bring up Jesse?
All right, my name is Jesse Lockwood. That's the name my mother gave me. But Jester Loki is my tribal name. That's the name that I chose for myself. And my pronouns are he and him, but as a two souls, they and them is also appropriate. This is a song that I wrote a long time ago, and I just like to recite the lyrics as a poem. It's been a long road, and nobody knows where it goes, but we spend our lives in the following of our friends. So we might as well skip to the end, and we can talk about the ones we saw ascend, and we mended when they said to have a nice little day to remember the sorrow that you felt in your December when you had nothing to lose. I think it's kind of funny when we can spend all day waiting for the other ones to change. So even though it sounds kind of strange, sometimes emptiness can let us rearrange. So don't be afraid to have a nice little day to remember all the sorrow that you felt in your December when you had nothing to lose. So even though I don't know where it goes, I'm going to head on down my own road. And heaven knows that I chose to have a nice little day for a new life. And if I can reconcile with my birthright, then we might be renewed to have a nice little day to remember. Thank you.
Alrighty then, friends, continuing along. On deck, I got Manny. Hope I said your name right. I'm just reading it phonetically, so Mani. See, that's why you just read it sometimes. You don't know where the inflections are and all of that, and so Mani. But on deck, I got Mani. Coming up right now, can y'all make some noise for Tia? Here she comes. Give her love all the way to the stage. Fill it with positivity.
I don't know if you guys noticed this, but I'm not one of those people that knew that they were going to be here this evening, so this is going to be pretty random. My pronouns is she and her. It doesn't, actually, however you prefer to identify me is up to your choosing, however you view my soul. All right, so I'm going to sing. I'm not the best singer ever, but it's what I'm going to do. This one is an original. All right. Now I'm sitting in this water and I don't know where I'm going. You think I'll drown if I let the waves take me? I just can't help thinking I just want you around. I'd feel better if you'd saved me. Like my tears, which land softer in your hands, I've been here just waiting for a chance, but this water almost feels more certain. Now I'm sitting in this place that I hope you'll never know, but it helps all us junkies fantasize about homes, and I'm thinking all these thoughts that I hope you'll never know. See, I'm addicted to love killers in the oceans of your soul. Like my tears, which land softer in your hands, I've been here just waiting for a chance, but this water almost feels more certain. Row your boat gently up my stream. Save your soul. I'd feel better if you'd saved me. But this water almost feels more certain. That's the song. You mind if I did just like one more song? All right. I'm going to put the mic down because it's really tricky to do with my hands. Not free. Southern fruit, very strange. Wait. Southern trees bear strange fruits. Blood on the leaves and blood at the roots. Black bodies swinging in a southern breeze. Strange fruit hanging from the poplar trees. Casturing scene of the gallant South. The bulging eyes and their twisted mouths. Scent of magnolia, sweet and fresh. Then the sudden smell of burning flesh. Here is the fruit for the crows to pluck, for the rain to gather, for the wind to suck, for for the sun to rise, for the trees to drop. Here is a strange and bitter crop. That last one was Billie Holiday. I felt like I should give it to her.
Kill him. You let him know. I heard one of the best things from one of my mentor's friends and everything. A lot of the community knows her, Utimia. She gave me one of the best reasons to sing all the time. When we sing, we call the spirits to us, right? She says that in her practice, she really talks about how every organ, all the systems have their own sound. Singing is the sound of the heart. Right? So that when you're singing, that is what you're releasing. Whatever energy you're carrying in your heart is now out into the world, and the spirits are using that as a locator for you, right? So thank you for calling spirits to us. I appreciate it. With that being said, this will be the last person to close us out. Thank y'all so very much for being here. Please give this person as much love and support as we gave the first person. Every person in between makes a lot of noise for Mani. Money, let's go, y'all.
I don't know how I'm gonna follow up after that one. I'm gonna try. Yeah, I'm country, so if y'all can't understand me, I'm from Louisiana. Just raise your hand, tell me to slow down. All right. These city streets gotta be running from retribution. Politicians got the clout, but offer no resolution. These niggas Joseph philandering in collusion. Same shit the Treasury and Federal Reserve is doing. Geoengineering pollution, police shootings, dogmatic litigations, ordered off pharmaceutics. Hostility is inability to getting some humility. Society's reconstruction is a civilian's remedy. Saved in the system that sickens me to the epitome, I refuse to be controlled mentally by an enemy. Loving every lie that's been fed to you by the nation, you stand idly by, watching interrogation. Your culmination is weighed on determination, not by your conspicuousness and or ostentation.
Sorry, I'm checking the wreckage. Right? Like, right? He literally, that was a live I've ever seen. I don't really know how I'm gonna come follow that. Blah! Literally the thickest lyricism ever. You got like, okay, this is what I love, especially because I can't write raps. Like, raps is a particular type of poetry and writing that takes a lot. Because for me as a writer, this is the way I break it down. I have no limit on the number of syllables I can use in a line. My lines can stretch 32 syllables or they could stretch 4 syllables, right? When you're writing to music and to meter, you have to fit within syllables. Did you see how many words above 4 syllables you fit within 8 bars? Literally, there were syllables in there that extended like one word, right? So talent right there. Not to mention, did you see the social justice weaving through the whole shebang, right? That's good right there. That's an intelligent ass person. All right then, friends, this has been a wonderful night. Please repeat after me. I am loved. I am worthy. I am safe. I am free. I am powerfully protected. I am master of my body. I am ruler of my mind. With that, my name is Franklin. Take care, y'all. Have a good night.